They didn't say, "You're gonna be this religion, you have to do this because I was a doctor, you gotta be a doctor." None of that. I grew up pick all of us have different religions in my family, for example.
I just had the most interesting conversation with Laurie Ford. Laurie Ford is super close with her family. She loves Disney and she has an amazing passion for her crystal collection. I think you're going to enjoy hearing more about Laurie Ford. Laurie, thank you for being here with me today.
Great, it's nice to be here, and thank you for, having me.
Tell us, Laurie, what's your role at C&G?
The director of product safety, for the company. So all sites, working with the plants to implement, quality systems to ensure we meet requirements from a regulatory standpoint, customer standpoint, and CNG standpoint. So, we work hard to get certifications in place. We have 6 different certifications that we work on across all sites. Not all sites have every one of them, but so it's very dynamic that way.
Well, Laurie, I know that you are one of the most passionate people in the company about your job. You take it so seriously. Where did that passion come from?
Great question. My mother. I can tell you when we were growing up, there's 6 of us in my family. I'm second oldest. My mom worked at Simplex Time and Record Company as a coiler. She used to turn coils with her hands. And she would come home at night and she would be like, I beat that record because it was piecework. And so us kids would all have, like, betting on when she's gonna come home and say it again. So she was very competitive. She worked hard. My dad worked hard. He's a truck driver. So between the 2 of them, they definitely, set the tone for values and, what we did in the workplace. So we worked really hard and, because of them.
Yeah, that's so inspiring to hear. And for so many of us, our parents kind of shape our path. Are you close with your parents?
Yeah, my dad has passed, about 5, 6 years now, but my mom is still alive, and yeah, I love my mother. And one
Mhm.
of the things I love, not just about my mom, but my dad, is that as growing up, we were allowed to do whatever we wanted. They didn't say, "You're gonna be this religion, you have to do this because I was a doctor, you gotta be a doctor." None of that. I grew up pick all of us have different religions in my family, for example.
Wow.
Yep, and I picked mine, Roman Catholic, and I went to church. I, did my all my classes and everything. I absolutely loved it. I love the sermons. So people probably don't know that about me, but I do enjoy going to church, and that's a very sacred thing. But I keep that to me. That's
Yeah.
I do me, and that's what nobody knows that. I don't talk about it much.
Yeah. What a novel concept, your parents letting you pick your own religion. I think that's very forward thinking. How did you decide?
It's what we first started going to the same church, and then everybody decided if they liked it or didn't. And my
Mm.
parents let us do
Mhm.
whatever we wanted, and I liked it. I liked that church. I liked um, the reverend there. He was really good and had excellent sermons. That was my favorite part. Listening to the story
Mhm.
about a piece out of the Bible that was
Mm.
pretty important to me to understand that. So between that and growing up in a small town. My parents, I did every sport that you can think of, field hockey, basketball, softball. I was in the band. I played a clarinet. I was in the choir. I was in the plays,
Wow.
and I worked at the Clark Memorial, and I, was going to the gym all the time. My parents supported everything with 6 kids and still let us do whatever we wanted.
Wow.
They didn't make us play sports. They didn't make us do any of that. It was
So
great.
one of the characteristics that I have observed with you, Lori, is you're a very confident person. You come across very confident. I don't know if you feel that way inside, but I see you as a confident person. Is that what shaped your confidence?
Yeah, you nailed it. You took the words out of my mouth. I'm serious.
Yeah.
My parents, by them allowing us to do what we wanted to do, to be what we wanted to be. My mom would say, do what you want to do. Don't do what people tell you to do. Make your own path, follow your own
Mhm.
path, make your own destination. And we all did that in my family. We're all alike. We are true Fords through and through. We follow what our parents guided us to
Yeah.
do, and I would not change a thing.
Yeah. Another thing I know about you, Laurie, is your nickname.
Okay, what's my nickname?
Diamond Loafers.
Oh, yes, yes.
So tell me, how did you get the nickname Diamond Loafer?
Because my mom had wore loafers growing up, so all of us kids wear loafers a lot, and I'm wearing them now.
You have them on today.
I
You
have them
have on
on
your shiny
every
black
day.
loafers.
Every
Yes.
day I wear them almost. My mom does too, even to this day. So I buy a lot of loafers. I'm a shoe person, and I have all different styles. But for work, I wear black. Yep.
So, Laurie, what what's the best vacation you've ever been on?
2015, we went to Cancun with my family. Like all of my family except for one sister couldn't
Mhm.
make it. That was my last vacation with my father. He passed away that April after that. But it was the best vacation because we had my nieces, my nephews, my siblings, my parents.
Mm,
It was the best vacation that I could have ever asked for.
mhm.
It's one I'll never forget. I like to take photos, so everybody that knows me, if you look at my phone, there's probably about 70,000 on my phone right now because
70,000 photos.
uh-huh.
Wow.
And a
You
lot of
must
them
have the one with extra storage.
I do. Oh yeah, I've got the, big megabytes or whatever they're called, gigabytes.
Yeah.
I'm not an IT person, but
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite vacations because it was with my family, and we're all looking at doing it again next year, again as in memory of my dad and just a few other things going on, but to go to Aruba this time.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so inspiring to me to see how close you are with your family. I've noticed that over the years as well.
Yep.
And how I remember being in your office one time and you showing me a picture of you and your dad.
Yep. Still there probably. Yeah, I think it's the same one. Yeah, I love my dad. I love my all my siblings. My brother especially. I'm very close to my brother.
So when you think about your life today and the path that you're on, was there a particular turning point or pivotal moment in your life, a decision that you made that put you on the path that you're on today?
Great question. Yes. So, when I started out at CR Bard, I was 19 years old, and I I started out working as a floater. Then I went in as a work leader. Then I went into document control, and then I got into quality. It was like about 2 or 3 years in. And Elizabeth Bonioli was my manager at the time, and she really supported me in what I did and everything I did in that company and helped me go through the ranks of the quality. So I worked in QC, testing chemicals, and that's what her background was in. So she taught me that. And so I did that for a while, calibrations, put programs in place through her support. And then I went into the QA lab, and then I managed all finished goods, all raw materials, and just kept escalating from there. I had 8 positions in that company. Part of it was because of how she helped push me through and pushing me to go through not, she wasn't pushing me. I wanted to do it. I love to learn and learn new things and be challenged. So she was there to help and support me the entire way. And from that moment on, there was the pivotal moment for me was when she brought in some consultants, and they monitored all of the people in the organization to figure out what they were doing and right or wrong. And she brought in this person, Wally Katie, who worked for the FDA for 20 years, and she put me with her. And when I started working with that person through Elizabeth's, direction, I just absolutely loved everything about quality and haven't looked back.
Yeah, do you feel like this is what you were born to do?
Yeah, it is, absolutely. I don't know if you know this, Kathy, but, 1 year I was an operations manager
I
at
remember that.
okay. I did that job, I did not love it.
No, you were
I
commuting to New York.
Nope, that was another
Different
one.
job. Okay.
I was still in quality on that one, but this one was in, Massachusetts, and it was working with handicapped people, which was a very emotional time in my life with working with people who are handicapped who can put cables together and wires and put things together like this whole setup here. It is amazing to see what they could do. But yeah, I didn't love it, and that's when I knew I'm like, nope, quality. I'm going back into quality, and that's when I came back, and you welcomed me with open
Yes.
arms
Yes, I think you've come back 3 times?
twice.
Twice. Oh, okay. All right. Yes. All right. No, we're lucky to have you
Yeah.
on the CNG team. So tell us about what you like to do when you're not working.
I play tennis. I'm in the USAT league. I've been there, UST for 20 years. I play on two teams, 18 and over and 40 and over. Absolutely love tennis.
18 and over and 40 and over.
Mhm.
Wow. So is one more difficult than the other?
Yeah, if you can believe it, the 40 and over is more difficult because they're more seasoned. And these people, I'm very, very competitive and I don't want to lose. I'm like, oh, I can beat that person.
Yeah.
Nope, not so much because they're very good. But I love tennis. I like swimming. I have a Peloton bike, so I do some spinning. And I just love to walk because my dad did. And we did a lot of walking.
Mhm. Yeah, your dad, I could tell you're very, very close with your dad. What one trait did you really admire the most about your dad?
He's funny.
Yeah,
He had a humor. We all have it. Anybody that knows us and comes over our house, they're like, "Oh, you got your father's humor." Especially my brother, but he has it more than any of us. But we all have that humor. We have that laugh, that giggle, that
yeah.
you guys probably don't see all the time here. I mean, when we're
You're
all
you're
together,
very serious at
I
work,
am.
Laurie.
Well,
I wanna see you giggle more.
I do. I laugh. Even I had my team. I was together with my team today, and we, try to
Mhm.
make them laugh a little bit. And I'm getting better about that. So yeah,
Yeah, it's that ability to just kinda cut loose and, be in the moment, and it's so important,
yeah.
I think, to be able to do that. So how do you, decompress? What do you do to relax and de-stress?
I run. I'll
Mhm.
actually go for a walk where I'll also run. Running for me is good or spinning. Swimming in the summertime, like right now, if I need to decompress, I'll go for a swim. Um, but I also just like to walk and listen to music.
Mhm.
I do the meditation too. Started doing much more of that. And I like to just listen to just the music part, the meditation part of the music, which is
Mhm.
good.
Yeah. So what about, what I know that you live in Massachusetts, but tell me about the community you live in and what that's like.
I live in a small community that's in rural, a lot of farms. They have tobacco, potato fields. They do a lot of haying there and that kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. It's a small little town called Sunderland, and it's a small population, but I have a great community. I love my neighbors. I'm like the neighbor watch, so everybody knows me. They all, I'll call
Yes.
them up if I see something. But anyway, it's a great neighborhood, good people, and so I'm really happy where I'm at. It is very close to CNG as well.
Yeah. I've been to Sunderland. It is a beautiful little community
Hmm.
and great restaurants and,
Yes.
you know, you feel safe walking around there.
Yep.
It's very nice.
Yep.
So tell me something. I've known you for quite a few years, since 2006. Tell me something I don't know about you.
Hmm. I think there's a lot of different things. I'm trying to figure out which one to tell you. There's a few. So I collect crystals, for
You
example.
collect crystals?
I collect crystals, and
I
boy,
love crystals.
I love crystals. Oh my God.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, that's one of the big things I
What's your
do.
favorite crystal?
Well, it's well, I got a lot of favorites, but um, well, I just like the rose quartz one.
Yes.
Um,
Now, do you study, like, how these crystals have different properties and
Energies. Yeah.
yes, and
Yes.
different energies,
Yeah. Yep.
and do you put them out in the full moon to recharge them?
Yes.
Yes, see, you didn't know I knew so much about crystals. So
Yes.
tell me about your what you do with your crystals and how you use them in your life.
Well, so I have some with me today. They're in my bag, wherever that is.
You travel with them.
Oh, I travel because there's a couple that are for travel, and I
I
have
did
I
not
have
know
one in
that.
my car. I have one in my bag.
Mhm.
I've given them all to my employees. I've given out some of those crystals to some at different occasions when I meet with the team and do little summits with them. But I have a thing at home that I put them in. I'm trying to get something where I can put the crystals in different places, like when the moon is out and
Yes.
it's coming into the window and hitting the shelf,
Mhm.
and that's something I'm looking for. But I've got enough of them now that I need to figure out how to where they're
Mhm.
gonna go, but right now they're in a little, organizer, basically,
Mhm.
and I get different ones, and what I do is, for Christmas, I got a bunch of cards. I lay the cards out, and I put the crystals on the cards, and then I look at them, and I make sure they match and just, learn about them, and I get crystals for a lot of different people for different things, for, like, if somebody needs it for healing or,
Yes.
just, we just had a celebration of life for a friend of mine who's, cancer imminent, and so it was just this past Sunday, so we gave her some crystals for, just again, just to continue to give her some more positive energy.
Mhm.
So I picked a few, amethyst
Mhm.
is a good the purple stone there, that's a nice one to give, somebody for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, the crystals, have been around forever, right? And the origin of the crystals, they were here long before we were, and they'll be here long after we're gone. So the mystical properties of crystal is fascinating.
Oh yeah, I love it. And if you're ever in Sunderland area, over in Deerfield, there's a
Mhm.
place called the Dinosaur Place. It's a dinosaur store,
Mhm.
and in there is where I get a lot of my crystals. So it's nearby, and A to Z has a lot of them too. But basically, you go in there and they have everything, from the Stone Ages. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So I love them.
What's the most fascinating or interesting crystal or most rare crystal that you have?
Um, I would probably say the amethyst one that I have. That's the purple one, and
Mhm.
is probably the most rare one that I have. I have so many, though. I can't think of all the names of them, but
Yeah.
I just love I like the feel of them. I like what they do. I mean, they did, when I read about them and understand what they are,
Mhm.
the properties that they have. I like little tiny ones, and I
Yeah.
also like some of the medium size. But I have little baby ones that I'll go and pick, and I could spend an hour picking one.
Wow.
So if people don't like to
You
shop with
are
me when I go,
meticulous. It's a good thing you're in charge of our quality.
thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Or yes, our certifications, I should
Yes.
say. So, when you think about your life, I mean, there's so many fascinating, interesting things about you. Is there a particular goal that you have that you're aspiring toward or that you'd like to do in the future? Something that, really captures your imagination and interest?
So, you mean work related
No,
or yeah,
whatever
whatever. Okay. So,
in life.
I always have a vision. It's a funny thing that growing up, it's one of those things in life that from a kid on, I always had this vision about what the end was going to look like.
Mhm,
And so, some of that's coming true now, not all of it. But, so you've got like we built a house 5 years ago. And that was one of my visions is to have the house and have it exactly the way we wanted it, which we did.
mhm,
And, so as I think about retirement and that kind of thing, so just visualizing where I want to be and what I want to do. My
mhm.
friends laugh at me and I say, I always want to work at Disney and I want to be
A
eh, you
bus driver?
know, welcome people into Disney and
Ah,
because I love Disney and that kind of thing. So,
ah,
you know, I, um, I have a couple things that I think I want to do when I retire that I love to cook.
mhm.
So I'm thinking about something related to that.
So would you say you're a manifester? You think about things and then they happen in the future.
There's an element of that in my life that I feel is I have premonitions and they come to life. I'm like, wow, I
Wow.
knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And
Like a
and
sixth
I
sense.
have a sixth sense. I absolutely do. Not every time,
Mhm.
but people, I'll always say it, and then all of a sudden it happens. I'm like, oh my god, wow.
Wow.
It's a weird feeling to some degree, but it's cool as well.
Yeah, you seem like a very connected person, liking the crystals, like
Hmm.
you're outdoors, you like being in nature, you like exercising,
Yep,
very
very connected.
grounded, very.
Yes.
So tell me, why do you love Disney?
Because that you know what? When you asked me the question earlier, maybe I'm gonna retract that
Yeah.
and tell you how do I decompress? The reason I like to go to Disney is because it takes me away from reality. And it
Ah.
gets me away from, stuff,
Yep.
work, home,
Mhm.
whatever. And it's where I play. It's where I like to just have fun. And everybody that knows me, if they want to go to Disney with somebody who wants to have fun, they're going to ask me to go with them because they know that we're going to have a great time. There's going to be I have a schedule and, got to
I
get in
was I
early.
was gonna say, the
Yeah.
key to the key to Disney today, it wasn't this way, 20, 30 years ago, but the key today is you got to plan in advance. You got to get all those reservations
Yep.
and even for the rides. So you would be a great person to go to Disney with, Lori.
Yep. Oh yeah. I've got to, well, I don't say I have it down pat, but I've got a lot of the
Yeah.
tips that I can give people or when
Yeah.
we're there together, definitely know the secrets and what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anybody's looking for a trip to Disney, call Lori Ford. She can help you get that planned. All right. So, Lori, when you think back on your life and you could go back to age 18, would you change anything? Would you have made any different decisions? Any regrets?
You know, I don't know if it's a regret, but I went in the military first and
Yes.
then I came out and I did my college after that. And I didn't finish, but I did a lot of classes and courses through Bard, at night. I took night school when I came back out of the military. So, I chose to go in because I wanted to go in for military police. So I said, I'm going to sign up, I'm going to get in there. And I ended up going in for a different thing because it was too long of a wait. But, that's the only thing in life that I said, should I have gone to college first? I don't know if I'd change it because I
Hmm.
learned so much in the military. Um, and I probably did more in the military than I would have in college
Hmm.
because I went from an E1 to an E5 sergeant in
Hmm.
2 years.
Wow.
And I did all the correspondence. I went to a non-commissioned officer school. I've got an instructor's award. I got all kinds of awards in the military for accommodations for things that I did because I was in during wartime.
Hmm.
And I was in HR position, which was personal record specialist, sending people overseas and coming back. And I was a hometown recruiter in Orange, Mass, while I was in the military.
Wow. You've done a lot of different things in your life.
I know. I look back at it. I tell you, Kathy, I'm amazed as I look back at what I did and all the jobs that I had and how much I did in each one of those in 38 years. I don't know how I did it. I really don't. I persevere. I'm a very focused person. So if when I focus to do something, I just do it and I don't look back.
Yeah. That's the way.
Yep.
That's it. I think when you do look back, you realize every decision, everything that's happened has led you to where you are today.
Hmm.
This is where you're meant to be.
Yep.
So let me turn the table.
Okay.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask me anything you want.
All right. So Kathy, what makes you happy? What makes you happy in life?
Yeah. I think when you boil it down, everyone wants to be happy, right? And if you ask somebody, what do you want? And they say, oh, I want to have this house, or I want to have, this much money, or I want to have, if you get down to why do you want that house? Why do you want that money? It's to be happy, right? So the goal in life is to be happy. The way I look at it is happiness is a choice. Happiness isn't a destination. It isn't getting this house or getting that money or getting anything. Happiness is what you decide inside. And so for me, I try to live my life looking at what's right, what's going well, what I have to be grateful for versus what I don't have. And I think when you live with that mindset, it makes you a happy person. I'm a very grateful person, and I think gratitude brings me more happiness.
Yeah, I can see that in you. There's no question. That's great. What can I ask one more question?
Sure.
So what is an activity? What do you like to do for fun?
For fun.
Yeah.
So many things. I mean, you know, I, I enjoy being in the moment, right? I think that's a key to happiness and just enjoying myself is if I'm walking home from work or I'm walking to work this morning, I'm very mindful of being where I am and noticing what's going on around me and finding happiness there, not thinking about oh what I need to do later or what might happen. Trying to live in the moment of what's going on around me. That makes me happy.
Oh, that's great. Nice.
Yeah. I want to thank you for being here. You've been a wonderful guest for me today and you've been so generous with the things that you've talked about. And it's been my pleasure knowing you for so many years, and you continue to inspire me.
Well, thank you, Kathy. I would say the same back. I mean, you inspire me as well, and I'm happy to be here. I absolutely love my job. I love what you're doing with the company. So thank you for the opportunity to have this conversation. It's been great to get to know you some more as well.
All right. Thank you, Lori.